I think I might be getting muddy here. Oh, log's rolling. That log rolled, and I am in the muck. It sucked my shoe off. What do I do about that? Oh boy. I'm pretty sure that mountain up there is where I'm headed. Kicking this off from campsite 4. It's one of the Adirondack Lodge campsites here. It's about 1:40, so this is going to end up as a night hike. At the end of the parking lot, I get to the trailhead, register here. So I'm going to get that taken care of, and we'll start down the actual trail. Okay, registration is all set. Looks like I'm going to have these blue blazes to follow. Not even a mile in yet. This is just a beautiful, easy trail. Temps are in the high 50s. There's no bugs, light breeze. The weather reports that I was looking at all said it was going to be colder and rainier than it is today. The sun's been peeking out on and off, so I guess I should count myself lucky. Got some boardwalk here to cross over a stretch of swampy terrain. Oh, and a creek too. That boardwalk I was just on is a little further down that way, and then up here there's a decision point. The blue blaze is there. There is a blue blaze there. It looks lighter blue. But if I look at the map, this is the way I should go. So I'm going to go with that, and I'll turn around if I need to. Per the map and per this blue blaze here, I did make the right choice. We've got a kind of sandy, but not slippery, not like running on the beach, gradually sloping upwards trail here. And just about a mile in from my campsite, just under a mile, let's say, state land boundary, entering the wilderness. Probably the most challenging thing of this early part of the trail is all this mud avoiding. There's rocks, there's logs that are like balance beams, puddles everywhere. So far, everything's been avoidable. I guess it's made it a little fun, like an obstacle course again. All right, here we've got a 4-way intersection. One there to the left, one roughly straight ahead, and one angling back to the right. And the way we want to take is left. Measuring from my campsite, I'm about 2 miles in, a little over an hour in, so a little slower than my normal pace on easy trails. I think I'm still feeling the effects of Katahdin from yesterday. Got a fairly large stream just off the left of the trail here. Right here, the trail I've got marked off in all trails wants me to go that way, but it seems like they're trying to let that grow back in, since they've got not only a blaze, but a blaze with an arrow pointing to the right. The trail to the right just goes back and catches up where this one goes anyway, so I'm gonna follow their rules. About 2.5 miles in, I just passed a privy off in the woods, and it looks like I'm at some kind of camping area here. Not a river crossing, just a bridge. And the trail does a U to get you right back to the other side of what I presume is an old bridge. Another register here. Not sure if I'm supposed to do it again or not. Second registration done. 5.1 miles to Marcy. This area is well signed with signs pointing to Marcy all over the place. All right, now we've got a water crossing. Let's see. What's the route here? I think the route is across that big flat rock and over the middle there. I don't like that one because if I slip, I'm going in the drink. This route looks like I can keep my feet dry and not be submerged if I screw up. All right. Oh yeah, this is it. This is it. After that stream crossing, the trail takes on a pretty different texture here. It is more of a stream bed, sort of an overflow stream bed with rocks and mud as opposed to the dirt trail between the trees before. Much of the trail thus far has streams flowing right next to it, so it gives that nice flowing water, fresh scent. That's something like 3.5 miles in. I've reached the point of no more camping. I guess this is where the alpine vegetation gets a little more fragile. The maintainers of this trail have really done a great job. They've got all these boulders here set up like stepping stones, which makes for a pretty fun segment. And then over here, we alternate between plank bridges and some more boulder stepping stones. Here we've got the split to Phelps on the left and Mount Marcy on the right. All right, this bridge here is at about the 4-mile mark for me. I'm a little over 2 hours now, so my second 2 miles was a little slower than my first 2. Mostly because of all the maneuvering to avoid the mud, I think. I don't feel more tired or sore. After that bridge there, we start to get more of a rocky climb. It doesn't look like this is going to require any scrambling, but we're getting more into the going up steps type rocks here. Climb up this rock, and then we've got the trail going to the right and a skiing only trail that way. This looks like it might be one of the steepest parts of the hike. If this is as bad as it gets, this isn't that bad, but I'm going to reserve judgment. How many times have I been on a trail thinking I'm at the worst, and I haven't been at the worst? Just got to the top of that steeper part. Now I have a relatively flat section in front of me here. Looks like we got another stream crossing up here. Did you do the log?
Yeah, it's not bad.
All right. Well, Indian Falls is a tiny side route here, so I think I'm going to check that out while it's still daytime since it's not very far. Ah, very cool. Ooh, the breeze is much cooler out here. I can tell when I get above tree line, it's going to be chillier, but right now this feels really nice. All right, that was a worthy detour. I think it's only adding maybe 5 minutes to the total route, so very close to the main trail. I'm back on the main trail here. As you can see, it's pretty flat at this point. The camera corrects for the darkness, but to my eye, it looks pretty dark right now, as if it were getting dark, but it's still only like 4:30. I did just check the map there because that trail to Marcy almost looks like it's pointing back the way I came, but it's intending to be pointing that way. And there's a sign warning about Mount Marcy's famous weather. I really find these stepping stones scattered throughout the trail to be a lot of fun. Must have been some real effort to move these all into place. I'm about 5 miles in now, and this section reminds me of the beginning again. Relatively flat, pretty easy. This part is pretty fast. A lot of flat places to step. You don't have to go too slow. You can make some good time, and here are more of these stepping stones that I love. Look at this. Perfectly spaced. I got a slight downward slope here. Had to walk along that slippery log there and this slippery log there, which really isn't hard to do when you got poles. You just anchor them to the sides and go. But here, it gets a little tricky. This can take me to that stump, but then where? I don't think I can make that jump. I think I might be getting muddy here. Oh, God. That is not solid. Oh. All right, let's just go. I'm using my poles here. I really don't want to tumble into this mud. All right. Almost to the stump. Whew. Oh, log's rolling. All right. Oh, I think I can make it over there. Whew. I can use my poles to do a little assist. Oh, yes. And I didn't lose any pole nubs in the mud. I'm at a little over 5.5 here. And we've got another steeper section here where the rocks are acting like steps. Looks like I'm getting pretty close to the tree line. I'm at about 5.75 miles from the starting point at my camp. And I found some dry rocks here, so I think I'm gonna set up a little site for dinner. You want to use this rock I'm on? If you change your mind, let me know. Happy to move. Well, stopping to eat on this dry rock proved to be a good idea, as it won't be dry for much longer, as it just started raining. Not very hard, but enough to merit the poncho, I'd say. So I've got the poncho out and time to head up there. The rain seems to have already petered off. This area definitely has bigger boulders, more awkward, large steps. Getting a little more challenging, a little slower. At just under 6 miles in here, this is the first real rock face I've seen. There are big boulders that are difficult to navigate, so you gotta slow down. And there's also stretches where it's pretty quick too. But the fresh drizzle is making a lot of the rocks slippery, so my feet and poles are sometimes slipping, so it's requiring extra caution at this point. Pretty sure through the trees there. It's my first glimpse of Marcy up close. I've reached another junction here with Bushnell Falls, among other things that way. But Marcy's to the right, and we're descending a little bit. And yes, we are descending more. Flat, sloped, slippery rocks are not my favorite, but this one's proving rough enough to walk. These sunken logs in water have been a common occurrence on this trail, and it looks like you're going to get wet, but you know, for instance, on this one, just put your foot on the side here like this and you're totally fine. I'm almost to 7 miles and I can feel the wind picking up, getting chillier for sure. This is pretty close to the 7 mile point. That's where I'm headed. A mile plus to go. Is this the path? Oh yeah, I guess it's just a side trail to get around that little pool over there. Weather subject to severe change. Do not proceed without proper gear. Well, I've got rain gear and cold weather gear. That should get me through. You can see we're going down here, and then we've got that slope to go up to Marcy on the right there. Well, this is pretty confusing right here. I navigated through this junk over to this basically island in the water, and there's a trail there. That might be the trail. That might be the trail. Based on the map, it looks like it goes pretty much straight, so I think that's this here. Oh, it looks like that side trail just reconnects here. So that was just a path around the big mud pit. And just to be safe, I did double check the map. This is correct. It's either up the dry part right there or along the edge in the wetter part. I think I'm gonna try the dry part. Yeah, I'm getting enough traction for this to work. Ooh, slippery though. As luck would have it, it looks like the rain didn't cover this place. So I've got dry stretches here to walk up just like before. So I'm approaching 7.25 miles here, and it's definitely getting tougher. It's basically these rock slopes, which are not hard to navigate. It's just you're going up. It's such a slope constantly that it's grinding. Just about the tree line. These trees are about my height now. Oh, here we go. Look at this. I got enough clearing over there to get a view. Oh wow, just look at the waves and waves of mountains out there. See up there? It's a heck of a lot higher than I am right now. There's no escaping getting wet here, unfortunately. Those boards are gonna go in as I go by. Well, that's the first time today I've had the sun directly on me, I think. And then right here, we're going up pretty steep. Well, for this segment at least, you can mostly walk. The rocks pretty much form steps that you can go up. Here comes that wind. Still not quite enough for me to take off the jacket. piece here, so get this view. I do not see a way to get up here without scrambling, so a little bit of a scramble here. And that was pretty much it. The rest of the way you can step. Yeah, this end part is tough. You just go right at this face for a while. And I'm guessing that's a false peak. I'm not as close as I hope I am. Now it's rounding off a bit. This is not the summit. It's on the other side of this ridge. Well, I didn't intend to be up here for sunset, but that's what I'm getting. Summit's over there. Also got a plaque here. Let's check it out. Enough of a history lesson. Let's get to the peak and get out of here. We got more scrambling here. Okay. Oh boy, this is it. There's nothing higher than this. Thank the Lord. Looks like the sun's already down behind that mountain over there. Well, not much of a view, sadly. I don't see any USGS marker either. That's good. Wouldn't be the first high point with that one though. Oh, speak of the devil. That little stone led me to come over here and look for that, so that was convenient. I'm gonna go up on the higher spot right here. One panoramic shot. Sunset is pretty much right now, so I'll have twilight for maybe another hour. Hopefully I can use that time to get back down below the tree line and then just work with my headlamp. One other quick adjustment I'm going to make. I'm going to lose the nubs and go with the graphite tips for the way down and try and really catch the stone. I thought coming down was going to be harder, but it's actually going pretty quickly. I gotta hand it again to the people who maintain this trail. These blades are just so there. Alright, you might be sick of the views, but I can't help myself. Here's Marcy. Here's what I got now. Back at this warning sign here. If not for these planks right here, my feet would be nice and dry. What a shame. This area here is so narrow. Often both my arms are hitting plants on the side. We got places like this where you need to waddle side to side because it's water right down the middle and the rocks are either non-existent or only on the side. It's raining again, so the rocks are getting more slippery. Luckily, I got down the worst of the slopes right below the summit. All right, I'm back down to this junction here. Slant Rock and Bushnell Falls to the right there. And Adirondack Lodge, my target, 6.8 this way. Well, the rain's been pretty consistent for the past few minutes, but it doesn't seem to have soaked all the rocks down this far. But it is making the going slower for sure. All right, this is the first one I really don't like. Might even be close to 45, and it's all wet and slick. This might be a little bit of a butt slider. I'm gonna go one hand down. I'll stab with this hand. Let's see how it goes. It's kind of dry here. Maybe I can go down this one little strip. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Okay. All right, that worked. Here's that big mud island again. Let's see, the side trail looks like it's right here. No, it's just as muddy back here. Jeez. Oh, that's really mushy. Okay, rock. There we go. time for a little gear switch up. The light correction in the camera makes it hard to tell, but it's definitely dark enough to have the headlamp out, or in a little bit it will be, so I'm putting that on here. Also, I'm losing the poncho. It's still drizzling, but the trees are blocking most of it. I'm enough under coverage at this point that I should be good. And also, it's definitely getting hotter, so I'm glad to be rid of that. Back to this fork again. This is the way. On these flatter parts of the trail, I feel like I'm making really good time. Just letting gravity kind of carry me. Rocks that are flat aren't super slippery. Plenty of light from the headlamp to place feet. The rain's picking up, but I'm not bothered with my poncho. I'm still feeling pretty comfortable, actually, the way things stand right now. I think it's only going to get warmer as I descend in altitude, too. Well, my track record was pretty good until right here. That log rolled, and I am in the muck. Look at this. It sucked my shoe off, man. What do I do about that? I wonder if there's any water nearby that I can clean my sock off with before I slide it into there. Bad enough that the mud's on the outside. Oh, God. Oh, boy. I don't advise walking with one shoe off, but since the trail's easy here, I'm going to risk it a little bit. Socks are already totally covered in mud anyway. Jeez. All right, well, now I'm definitely walking through the next water I see. Better than the muck. That one didn't come out too bad. This one, though, jeez. Oh, man. Look at that. My good luck ran out with that rolling burnt tree. Oh, man, I just really don't want to stick my foot in there. It's still clean on the inside. All right. This is getting rocky. I'm going to risk it a little bit longer. Oh, a nice babbling brook would be beautiful right now. All right, no babbling brook found yet. But I know what I can do. I got the 2 layers of socks on. I'll just take off the darn tufts and go 1 sock on my right foot. Should be all right for the rest of the hike. The darn tufts did their job and kept the liners pristine pretty much. All right. Good as new? Good enough anyway. I should have remembered about that log too. It rolled on the way in. Oh, log's rolling. Well, on the plus side, now that my feet are soaked, there's really no point in dodging puddles. That might actually make things go a little faster. 4.4 miles to go. I feel like I'm making good time. I'll have to check that in a bit. All right, I'm back here at Indian Falls. Or I should say the river just upstream from it. I have half a mind to just walk right through it. They kind of got clean. Maybe I just won't re-soak them again. Let's cross on that log from earlier, which didn't roll. So, curious side note about losing my shoe in mud. That is actually the 3rd time that's happened. The other times were while I was running. There's just one trail near my house that has a really mucky part, and I just tried to run on the edge, and the edge was just as muddy as the rest of it. My foot went about as deep as it went earlier. The suction took my shoe right off, just like today. And then the same thing happened on another trail I was running on. That one didn't look as deep, but it got my shoe. In both of those cases, I just shoved the muddy shoe right back in and kept on running. Didn't have double layers like I did today. It's about 10 after 10. I'm a little over 12 miles in total. No question, I'm definitely down to the easy part of the trail. All right, I'm back to that other river. Let's see how my shoes are looking. The left one could use a dunk, I think. Better. All right, let's get across here. What did we do before? We did that big flat rock and these little ones here. So, repeats. Carrying a little less if I get wet. Made it across. So I didn't remember a trail this narrow right after that rock. Check the map, and sure enough, I'm on some side trail. The main trail basically goes straight along the line of that big flat rock. Yeah, there's the big flat rock pointing that way. Oh, you're killing me here. No measurement. Back at this register. Guess I'll check myself out so they don't send anybody looking for me. Here we go. Adirondack Lodge, 2.3 miles. I am back to this bridge. Oh, it's kind of spooky at night, doesn't it? Has a final coda to the step in mud subplot of this video. I can definitely feel the difference between the feet. The one with the darn tough stock still on, so my left foot feels totally fine, totally normal. The one on the right with the darn tough removed definitely feels like there's some hot spots generating there. So I guess that's a point in favor that my sock system is effective. Well, the sky's cleared up enough for the moon to pop out for a bit. It's about 5 after 11. I just took a quick break to take a break, but I checked the map as well. Maybe a mile left. Well, here is the official 1 mile to go. Back to this registry. Time to sign myself out. Back to the parking lot. There's a deer right there that doesn't seem to care too much about me. It's a buck with some antlers. And back to the campsite. As it turns out, it took me almost as long to get down as to get up. Only about 15 minutes shorter. Well, I am glad to be done.